Hello, we're going to read part 3 of the last of the really great Whangdoodles. This is part 3, chapter 1. The professor and the children discovered that the other side of the mountain descended in a series of gentle rolling hills. Streams and waterfalls poured forth, splashing, leaping, and gurgling down the slopes to join the Golden River. The grass was lush and thick, of a sparkling aquamarine blue. Ben noticed a mass of plum-colored trees in the distance. "What are they?" he pointed. "I'm not sure," replied the professor, "but if my sense of direction is right, that's the forest of the tree squeaks. I would say that right now we are in the heart of Whangdoodle Land." The wiffle bird flew around them and landed in a tree. She fluffed out her beautiful feathers. "Easy does it," she says. The professor looked around. "Let's take the wiffle bird's advice. This seems a good place to rest for a while. There's lots of shade, and I don't think we'll be spotted here." "You know, I'm hungry," said Lindy. "I haven't had anything to eat for ages." "Yeah, I'm starved," said Tom. The professor reached into the low branches of a strange-looking tree. "That's easily put right." He pulled down a soft fruit that resembled a large maroon pineapple. Lindy bit into it. "It's fabulous. What kind of tree is that?" "It's a fruit of the month tree," replied the professor. "You mean each month it grows a different kind of fruit?" asked Tom. "My first trip to Whangdoodle Land, the trees were growing tangerangos. A few months ago, it was passionanas." The professor plucked one for himself and took a bite. This month, it's razapple." "Have some," he said to the boys. "It'll do you good." They ate their fill of the delicious fruit, then relaxed in the shade of the tree. The professor said, "You know, I've been thinking. It might be wise to stay here for the night. It's getting dark, and it will be difficult finding our way back." The children loved the idea of camping out in Whangdoodle Land. The boys rolled up their jackets and used them for pillows. Lindy covered herself with her cape and rested her head in the professor's lap. They watched a pale, translucent moon rise in an emerald-green sky, while brilliant stars sparkled overhead. The Whangdoodle's palace gleamed in the night like a huge chandelier. Lindy said wistfully, "I wish we were up there looking down here instead of the other way around." "So do I, Lindy. Oh, so do I." The professor's voice was full of longing. Ben pushed himself up on an elbow. "Professor, how close have you come to seeing the Whangdoodle? I mean, before you met us." The professor reflected for a moment. "I only came close enough to know that he was there, Ben. Of course, I talked to the Proc a lot, and I met our good friend the wiffle bird." He looked at her perched in the tree close to Tom. She appeared to be fast asleep, although it was hard to tell. "I never really got much beyond the Gambit region," he continued. "I discovered that it wasn't possible for me to reach the Whangdoodle by myself. I needed youthful minds to help me." He smiled. "That's why I was so thrilled when you came to my door for Halloween, for I had almost given up hope." "It was kind of a miracle, wasn't it?" said Lindy. "Well, I'd call it more of an opportunity," said the professor. "Miracles, contrary to popular belief, do not just happen. A miracle is the achievement of the impossible, and it is only when we put aside our greed, anger, pride, and prejudice, so that our minds are open and ready to accept it, that a miracle can occur." The Whangdoodle managed to think and do the right things and look at the miracle that he brought about for himself and his friends. "He surely must have tried hard," said Tom thoughtfully. "Do you suppose we will ever get to meet him?" "If you want to badly enough, the chances are it will happen. Actually, I've been doing some thinking. Since we've come this far, how would you feel about making one last all-out attempt to reach the Whangdoodle? If we are careful and lucky, we might reach the palace before the Proc has any idea that we are in the vicinity." "How do you know the Whangdoodle will let us in even if we do reach the palace?" asked Ben. "I don't, but I have a feeling the closer we are able to get, the more regard he will have for our determination. "Let's do it," said Tom enthusiastically. "We haven't got that much farther to go, have we?" "I don't believe so." "Please, Professor," said Ben, "let's give it one more try." Lindy was nearly asleep, but she managed to murmur, "Yes, please." The professor smiled and opened his plastic umbrella with the yellow butterflies. "I guess it's settled then. Tomorrow we'll make an early start. I suggest we all get some rest now." He pushed the umbrella handle into the soft earth and made a perfect shelter from the gentle night breeze that was blowing across the hills. He stroked Lindy's hair and talked quietly in the darkness about the stars and constellations. He told them about the furry little creatures called flukes, and how when the Whangdoodle first left the human world, they had hidden away in a pair of his old slippers. When they were finally discovered, it was too late to send them back. Lulled by his soft voice, the children pulled their scrappy caps down over their eyes and fell into an easy, comfortable sleep. Okay, that's it for today. I will see you tomorrow.